In the mountains in southern Spain, pro cyclists from the elite Belgian team Omega Pharma Quick-Step. Imagine cycling round the world. That's pretty much the distance these guys do every year in competition and training.
I particularly enjoy training. After all those hours on the bike, you start to feel one on the bike, and that's one thing you try to achieve. That means that everything's perfect.
The January training camp is by the beach. Each morning the old boys gather without fail to watch the young bucks, the young wheelmen, setting about their business. Running the team, 30 riders from 12 countries, probably costs over $20 million a year. Their star rider is British, from the Isle of Man, and is modestly known as the fastest man on two wheels.
I believe I'm amongst the greatest sprinters in the history of cycling, you know, and so there's not much more to prove there.
Cavendish has been world road race champion. He's won 25 stages of the Tour de France. No other current rider comes close. Physically, he's a man apart, small, just 1.75 meters, pocket-sized, but oh so fast and quick thinking in a sprint.
I'm very, very different. Like, I don't work on being as powerful. I work on more leg speed. They're big, strong guys. It's like winding up a toy, letting it go and it'll gain speed, whereas I kick and I kind of hold it from that. I'm small and more aerodynamic. I get to my top speed higher and quicker and hold it at that.
We waited on the plane by the reed beds on a straight section of public road. The boys were sprint training directly into the wind, head down, teeth gritted. They can do over 70 kilometers an hour. Road racing often comes down to a bunch sprint. Cavendish must conserve energy during the race by tucking into the pack or peloton, protected from the wind by his teammates.
This guy who's riding in the front, who's setting the pace, he has to work 100%. Then he is about on 80%, so he already saves 20, saves another 10%, so let's say he's on 70, and he is reduced the maximums.
How much energy are you saving your main guy?
Yeah, he's just roughly putting a little bit more than half of what the guy in front does. So that really is a lot. I mean,
that's a huge saving.
It's absolutely. I mean, and again, like, that's why it makes a team sport.
It's a constant fight with everyone that's there, and when you have a really good team, sometimes it helps. But for races like the classics, it's almost impossible to just put a few guys in front and stay behind them, because they won't let you. Everybody's fighting for his position and for his right to be there in the good spot.
Mark Cavendish believes he uses his brain much more than other cyclists. Just as he exercises his muscles, he spends a lot of time doing puzzles and games of logic to help his decision-making during races.
I'm quite egotistical, you know, and I always believe I have a nose for finding the right way through a peloton, a nose for knowing where I have to go. The amount of tactics that come into play and the time you got to make that decision is pretty incredible. It's not just one decision in a race, it's happening constantly.
Cavendish, you sense, isn't quite satisfied with his place in the cycling pantheon. He wants to be out there on his own as the greatest sprinter of all time. And that means securing more wins and a prize that has so far eluded him, wearing the yellow jersey in the Tour de France.
Above everything, I want to go to the Tour in July, starting in the UK, and win the first stage, wear the yellow jersey, and then win multiple stages after that. When I think about that race, it's an emotion that I don't get with any other bike race, any other thing in life, you know. So to go there and do well is the biggest thing.
Cavendish knows he can't win the Tour de France. He doesn't have the right physique. He falls behind on the mountain stages. But with a great team to help, he can still triumph in the sprints. The Manx missile, as he's called, unleashed over the last 200 or 300 meters in a blur of pumping legs.